Hi, this is Mia. This is my lamp that I bought. I wish it got hotter. No, maybe I don't want it to be hotter, but I haven't done my hair or anything at all because I slept late today. Actually, almost till 9:30, I think. I never sleep that late. I guess I turned off all my alarms and went to bed last night early. But I had some issues. And a bunch of people kept texting me up until 11 o'clock. I think I responded one. I should be careful and not respond in my sleep. Who knows what I would say. I went to my room. My kids were both downstairs playing yesterday, and I had to go to my room because I was frustrated. About a month or so ago, I had finally made the decision to go to a different church, and I had asked God. I had said, if this is the right decision, please have the neighbor come and get me. And sure enough, she came and got us. And I don't like to test God, especially if I feel like God's telling me to do something, or if you're going down, if you're driving your Jeep down this muddy road, and every October the road floods over, and every car that goes in there gets stuck, and you gotta, get someone and help you dig this stupid thing out. I still have a Jeep. It's in Michigan, but it's like, it's insanity, okay? It's like, I know for a fact that when I go down this street during a certain time, the same thing happens over and over again. Am I expecting different results? And unless you going and having some people help you dig your car out and pull it out and attach a winch to it and have it all messed up and been up because the mud got all over everything. So you like that, then just do it. And it's like going down that same road is what I keep doing with the old church. And about a month ago, I had a lot of weekend classes this summer and stuff, and I don't care if I want to show up. It's like a movie theater. You want to show up in a movie theater every Saturday night, and if you miss a couple nights, it's like no one's going to pester you and pound you and tell you that you have major issues. But at this other church, when I had events and stuff, they pester you and pound you. And in the beginning, when I started going, it's fine. You say, you tell them you're sick, and they say, oh, how was it? We miss you. Get the recording off the internet, and we'll see you next week. Let us know if you need any help. That's fine, but pestering you and telling you run away from God and that you missed the word and all this stuff, it's like, how do they know? How do they know I didn't go out of town and go to church? How do they know that one of my relatives didn't die and I'm at a funeral? And you're sending these pestering messages. How do they know that I don't have the flu, and not home, not able to talk or text anyone, They don't know nothing. So it just got to be more intimidating. But I just wanted to say that a month ago, I was in deep prayer and asking God to guide me, and realistically, it came down to the fact that one of my kids was crying every weekend about the old church, and she doesn't cry, and she cried because of things that people said to us about how we don't belong and how we need to go to a new church and how the kids will never be accepted into the church. After 10 years, I'm like, for Pete's sakes, our kids have been there longer than your kids have even been alive. It's like, the only reason they're not accepted is because you aren't accepted. Because kids sense their parents, My kids are highly intelligent and very pretty handsome and pretty. And, a good grief, I'd have to have, a facelift and a weave to even look as half as pretty as my kids. Sorry. God made me this way. They shouldn't be so mean. But they're lucky, and it's not just because of the way they look, it's because they're very kind. That can make a difference, and how you're perceived by others, because it's not a beauty contest, But a month ago or so, I started going with my friend, and then since then, about once, we couldn't go, and I felt freedom. I felt like freedom from shackles. I felt like freedom to get away from an abusive situation, because I have left abusive people more than once, and I have hidden from people, and I have changed my phone numbers, and I have hidden in places, housing programs that don't allow visitors, and don't only have P.O. box numbers, and you know, I pay a bunch of money. It's not working very well to keep my phone number unlisted, and I mean, it's stupid people. You sign up for something, you sign up, they end up selling your phone number and address to the internet companies anyway, which is not fair. But I should do something about that. But I have left abusive situations, and people will say, hey, you're chicken because you run from something. But if you got someone who's trying to kill you, or someone who's trying to hurt you, or someone's trying to hurt your kids, or someone's trying to manipulate you and steal all your money, and you tried everything you can to get the police involved and to get social work involved and to tell that person, hey, I don't know, what's wrong with you, we need to go to counseling. And for me, because I was married, I didn't just leave at a drop of a hat or whatever. So I felt exactly the same way and worse than I did with my ex-husband. Because my ex-husband was just one person who was on drugs. He was angry. He was mad. I didn't know if he was going to try to kidnap the kids and all this stuff. He was aggressive. He was abusive. He had a gun. And he was really good at using it. So I had to protect my kids and myself. And it's the same thing. My kids are very much ahead. Like, they are a step ahead of me, at least 10 steps ahead of me as far as figuring things out. It's like on Star Wars, I have a bad feeling about this. When we were getting ready to leave their dad for the final time, I said, we gotta go. In 5 minutes, my daughter packed everything and went. And when I said we need to go away from the church, or I didn't even say that, my kid just stopped going and cried and stayed up all night, since it would be completely impossible for her to wake up. And if she had a party or something, school or something, she'd get up. So the other thing is that when we went and found another church, she was up, ready, and dressed before I was, and she's gone back over and over again. She's gone with the neighbors when I couldn't go, and I was just grateful about that. So there's something, the old church was like, you better get your kids in there. You need to drag them in here. They're in the car. They need to be made to go to church. Like, church is actually, especially biblically speaking, I have a relationship with God. Church is recommended in the Bible to fellowship with other believers, but you don't necessarily even have. I mean, I could go to the neighbors and read the Bible and sing a couple songs, or I could sit in my room with my guinea pig and read the Bible out loud and sing a couple songs and fellowship. It's not, to me, I feel like it's something that I need to do to keep in touch with people. But there is a million churches in the world, or at least several thousands of churches. We don't gotta go to that one. We didn't sign like, you have a boat in a slip in a yacht club or in a marina somewhere, and it's like you pay a lease. Say you pay a 5-year lease on your boat, and if you leave early, you're going to be penalized, or you have to find someone to take your place, or you have to pay in advance, and if you leave, you're out, all this stuff, or, there ain't no lease. I didn't sign no lease when I joined that church. My son didn't even get saved at that church. He got saved at a different event, because there's just something, there's just something going on there. And when all these people started telling us to go find a new church, my son stopped going to school and stopped going to church and started acting weird. But why would somebody say that? And I guarantee if the pastors would listen, and if I came up to them and said, hey, if I had a church and you and your kids came every week and you got all dressed up and all happy and went out to lunch afterwards, but every time after church someone came up to you and told you, we recommend you find a new church, you and your family don't belong, you guys don't get along with anyone, this has been the best advice we've given everyone. And what if they said that to you week after week after week in front of your kids, and then every week it's like you're in a bubble, literally. It started getting worse. I was sitting in the middle, trying to sit next to people, and then they would leave or they would move to a different seat, and I would look at all the seats on the left, all the seats on the right, behind me, in front of me would be empty. And I would try not to separate myself, but I would try to sit next to a group of people or next to a family. And then they always move, and you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? I know I took a shower, I know I washed my hair, I put on clean clothes, it's like I put on deodorant, and I was chewing on some gum, I didn't have bad breath. Like, what in the world? and they're saying, oh, that's a lie of the devil, that you're too stupid to not believe that lie. But it's like, I would talk to people in the hallway, I would give people hugs, and they would look at me like I'm an alien or an axe killer, and just give me the dirtiest look. And someone else would come up to the same person, like, oh, hi, oh, let's do this together, let's do it. And I was like, wow. And it started being like, because I was the type of person who always stay after. Because if I missed the Wednesday nights and stuff, I would say, well, I can at least smile, smile and be joyful. I'm not an usher. It's not my job to just smile and greet people. But it's like, why not treat them like I want to be treated? What if I walked out and people came up to me and said, how are you doing? Here's a hug. I would make me feel good, especially since I never really talked to adults during the rest of the week, That was my one time a week that I was around another adults. But, they always called me goody goody. I went camping with a group of ladies. They wouldn't let me watch any other movies because they said they were too inappropriate. I'm like, gosh, you don't even know what I did in my younger years. I can't even repeat it. It's like, you guys haven't heard of the stuff that I did. It's like, they wouldn't want me to watch these movies and stuff. And I realized that so often I was being called a goody goody, and that I did what I was supposed to do, and I prayed, and I read my Bible, and I taught my kids the Bible, and I taught my kids to be respectful and have manners and all this stuff. And I worked hard, and I went to work, and I got rid of toxic people and all this stuff. And people are like, oh, amazing, look at you. But they just felt like, oh, you can't watch me eat because we eat junk food all the time, and we know you eat healthy food, so we don't want you to see us. And they'd be like hiding from me and thinking that I'm going to judge them. I never once said anything about their food or water or anything. It's like, I just, I probably went in the same restaurant and got food for my kids. I wasn't in a hurry. It's kind of a treat once in a while. I'm not the food Nazi, And I got weirded out because I was hanging out with people that were the pastors and the leaders that were doing illegal business. They were going to shoot a couple of the members' cats, and I'd rather let them stray as they did rather than shoot them. That's somebody that went good grief. Anyways, I just wanted to share that because a month ago I felt freedom. I felt free from shackles. I felt like things started going really well in my life, and then all of a sudden I started getting all these messages from these people, and these messages made me feel like garbage, and they were articulated a way, if I were to bring them up in front of a group, a judge, a jury, that it would look like not so bad. But in between the lines, that they're trying to manipulate me, just like my ex-husband, trying to get me crawling back, begging him, please forgive me, making me look like I'm the bad guy. And when somebody else is yelling at you, calling you a liar to your face, spitting in your face, literally the pastor's wife spits in your face, yelling in front of everyone in the parking lot. It's like, no wonder no one wants to sit next to me. They think that I'm, that axe killer again, And it's like, on paper, they want to make it, oh, well, we love you so much, we miss your kids. It's like, dude, one of my kids hasn't gone in a year. For all you know, he could be in juvenile detention, or in a group home, or in a hospital with leukemia. Seriously. If you love us so much, you would just be like, we haven't seen your son in a year. Is he even alive? For all I know, he could have lived with grandpa or something, Could have run away from home and been living in the street downtown. But no, not one person asked. They're like, oh, we miss you so much, and this and that. And I said, on text and paper, they're going to write what it sounds good to make me look like I am just a fool that doesn't know right from wrong, And so that's what's irritating me, and I'm trying to give it up. I'm making videos about it. I'm praying about it. I'm sending the text to my neighbor so she could tell me to block these people, drop them from your accounts and all this stuff. And I have gotten to the point where, someone leave a message. What happens when you block someone or unfriend someone on Facebook? Because I see people that used to be like, I can't believe this person unfriended me. Wow. I wonder do they get a message, or do they just try to go to your account and it says you're not friends? I just wonder. Because I don't want to cause such a stir. These people are so manipulating, and they want to control me so much that it's like, if they can't access me and tinker with me from a distance, like my ex-husband used to do, they're going to want to try to come to me in person and get me. And so I'm going to go outside actually right now. I'm going to change the guinea pig's cage and go outside and change the porch light, because I don't want anyone, the kids or anyone, to open the door for them. My friends said just tell them to go away, but these people are aggressive. So I'm not going to be having some, 250-pound guy trying to force his way into my house. I'm seriously, I said I'm calling the cops. So, and my neighbor's like, why? And I'm like, well, you don't know these people. They're not just, I don't know what's wrong with them. But it would have been different if I had been gone a couple weeks and they knew I had classes stuff. It would be different if they know, if they say, oh, if for a fact someone suggested you go to a different church. I wish I had just said, oh yeah, I'm taking them up on this offer. I'm going to a different church. And they say, you can't just leave by not showing up. You got to leave the right way. What's the right way? To go sit and listen to them yell. I tried to have appointments with them. I tried to have meetings with them. They said, don't talk to us, don't call us, we're not going to help you. I spent the whole last year doing that garbage, waiting at the church for 45 minutes so I could talk to them, with their kids yelling in the background. It's like that I can't even talk to you in person. You're telling me not to call, not to email, not to talk outside of church, but all I got is your little kid who's not even little, acting like a brat, jumping up and down, grabbing your sleeve, and you're not even telling the kid to shut up. It's like, I hate that. And it got to the point where I had some major serious issues, I don't want to say, and I had asked for help with them, and they said, absolutely not. We don't even want to talk to you. And that's their prerogative. They can set boundaries, they can say no, but maybe that's not a good fit for me. Maybe that's not a good fit for me. And I am an adult. If I wanted to shop at Nordstrom Rack and people start getting nasty, yelling at me and charging me extra money and not taking, if something tears the first day, not taking a refund, I don't have to continue shopping there, no matter how many thousands of dollars I spend at Nordstrom Rack. I'm not saying I spent thousands of dollars, but just an example. It's like you pay them, you have a relationship, you fellowship with the people, you know all the cashiers by name, you know the changing room procedure, you know when the sales are and when the good ones are and what time to get there. You know, it's like you know the game, you know. And it's like if you decide, hey, things are starting to be bad and starting to not be compatible with me, I need to change stores. Even if you want to go to one on the other side of town, the same store. If you want to start going to JCPenney, or you want to start going to Macy's, or you want to start shopping at the thrift store, or whatever. Or sometimes your needs change. Sometimes you don't have money to buy new clothes. Sometimes you don't have money. Maybe you have uniform requirements and you can only wear scrubs, so you're no reason to buy dress clothes anymore. You need to go to the scrub store, you know. Or maybe you end up on a farm and you're doing mail order selling books off Amazon, and you decide you're gonna sit down and stitch all your clothes made out of wool from the sheep that you have in your farmland. You know, sometimes circumstances change, people move, people's schedules get screwed up. That's News Church. I didn't do it last week because I had too many classes, but there's an opportunity for me to go at 6 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning, or 6 o'clock at night, or 8 in the morning. I mean, at that point in time, I hadn't had a summer break at all, and I said enough's enough. But there will be an opportunity, say, when I'm at work, if I decide to work on Sunday, or if I have an emergency, that I would be able to go before or after. And that makes me feel kind of happy. And I understand that this church is so big, I may not be able to make a lot of relationships, but I had a small church, and I made 0 relationships. So what do you do then, you know? And what I want to do is I want to go, and I want to sing together, and I want to listen to a sermon together, and I want to pray together, and I want to go home and feel filled up, satisfied, satiated, you know, and look forward to the following week. So that's what I had to say right now. So I'm going to go. My guinea pig is acting crazy. I've been having him in his portable thing for a couple of days.